The SATs were right around the corner, and our class president wanted to order food from a street cart for everyone. In my past life, I'd stopped her. I said the food was unsanitary, then sold my family's premium balanced meals to the class for $10 a piece, $50 plates with beef, lamb, roasted chicken soup, milk, and fresh fruit. Everyone ate well, healthy and satisfied, but when the scores came out, the class president cornered me on the rooftop with a handful of students who'd flunked. They blamed my family's food for making them sick during the exam. It's all your stupid meals. I was stuck in the bathroom the whole time. I didn't even finish my essay, lost me dozens of points. I blanked on the last math problem. I was 10 points from the cutoff. You ruined my shot at community college. I didn't even fill out my English answer sheet. You blew my chance at Harvard. I stared, stunned. I told them I'd only meant well, that I'd eaten the same food and felt fine, and asked why they hadn't said anything sooner if there was a problem. No one felt sick the first 2 days. You all ate like you loved it. And why didn't anyone else get sick? I pushed back, only to get a hard slap across the face from the president. Crack. My head spun. My cheek burned. Meant well, my ass. She snarled. You did this on purpose. Don't play the victim. Don't you dare lie. Are you saying we're all making this up to frame you? You cost us all dozens of points and you still think you're in the right. The people beside her chimed in. Meant well, you're just greedy. You took our money. Now you owe us. Refund every cent, plus $10,000 each in compensation, and we'll call it even. 10 grand for dozens of points. You're getting off easy. Now say thank you. Forget that. She has to repeat senior year and tutor us until we all get into top schools. This isn't over until we say so. I shook with rage. How dare you? You know perfectly well there was nothing wrong with that food. I turned to the rest of the class, the ones who hadn't spoken up. Say something. You all said the food was great just days ago. You. But they wouldn't meet my eye. Some even mumbled. Actually, my stomach did hurt a little during the test. Same here, Scarlett. You're so nice. Just cut them some slack. They're under so much pressure. It's not like you're completely blameless here. The president smirked, triumphant. Stop making excuses, Scarlett. Something in me broke. I said I'd call the police to clear my name. She panicked, yelling. Her cousin works at the police station. She'll have us all arrested. She did this on purpose, owed us rotten food to cut down her competition for college. I gaped, trying to explain, but the students, already wild with anger, surged forward and shoved me. I fought back. In the chaos, someone pushed me hard, and I stumbled backward off the rooftop. Crunch. I hit the ground hard. My mind went blank. Warm blood and pale gray matter spread beneath me. My ghost hovered in the air, watching as Lydia Carter calmed the panicking students. When the police arrived minutes later, every single one of them swore I'd slipped and fallen. As for the fingerprints all over my clothes, they lied and said they'd tried to grab me and pull me back. They walked away scot-free. My parents lost their only daughter. Their hair turned white overnight. Then those students sued them, claiming the meals were cheap because they were leftover and unsanitary. They posted videos online, dozens of high school seniors on their knees, sobbing and accusing a classmate of serving them rotten food to sabotage their exams. The video went viral. News outlets picked it up. Netizens screamed for my parents' heads. People even showed up at their restaurant to vandalize it, determined to run the accomplices out of business. My ghost screamed the truth over and over, but no one heard. The truth didn't matter anymore. All that mattered was destroying my parents. In the end, I watched as their restaurant shut down. They paid those monsters over $1 million in compensation. Not long after, unable to bear the grief, they jumped from a high-rise building too. I screamed until my throat was raw. It was useless. I hated myself. Why had I been so kind? Why had I sold them my family's meals at a loss? How could I have been so stupid? But it was too late. Everything was gone. My ghost began to fade. The last thing I saw was Lydia Carter's cold smirk as I fell. I refused to accept this. If I got a second chance, I'd tear her apart. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in class. The day Lydia first suggested ordering crispy chicken combos from the street cart before the SATs. I almost cried from relief. I was reborn, this time. I wouldn't play the Good Samaritan. I'd sit back and watch every last one of those ungrateful brats get sick as dogs during the exam. I'd seen it with my own eyes last time the cart owner scooped used cooking oil out of dumpsters behind restaurants. Never washed his hands after using the bathroom. Roaches scurried all over his station. The chicken got refried day after day. And the vegetables were fished out of trash cans. Rotten spots sliced off before use. Last life I'd tried to warn them out of the goodness of my heart. This time, I'd watch them burn. It was early June. The SATs were days away. And the school cafeteria food was as terrible as ever. Someone complained. And the whole class jumped in. This cafeteria fucking sucks. Don't tank my Ivy League shot. I can't eat this slop anymore. Knowing I'm stuck with this for my last few days of high school makes me miserable. My whole youth is ruined. I don't even want to take the test. Hell no. I'm done with this. Why not live a little? Eat something good these last few days. If I don't rebel now, my youth is dead. After some back and forth, everyone thought it was a great idea. That's when Lydia spoke up. Give me your money. I'll handle the order. Hell yeah. Our class president rocks. Everyone cheered, but their excitement faded fast. They barely had any pocket money. Just a few $dozen each. For 5 meals over 2 days. They could only afford about $10 a meal. Lydia thought for a second and smiled. There's a crispy chicken cart by the school gate. Huge portions. Super filling. What do you say? She spoke a little louder on purpose. Immediately people agreed. I've had it. The chicken patty's so big it hangs over the box. Totally sanitary. Obviously. Smells so good I drool every time I walk past. Hell yeah, me too. Who wouldn't want to scarf one down? Lydia's lips tugged up. She glanced at me out of the corner of her eye, and when she saw I wasn't reacting, she frowned. Then she smiled sweetly and asked, "What do you think, Scarlett?" My stomach dropped. I noticed now that the 2 guys who always followed Lydia around were the loudest about it. This question was a trap. She was baiting me on purpose. Last life I'd missed it. I'd only worried they'd get sick. Tried to stop them out of kindness. Even paid out of pocket to feed them better. In the end, it had all been a knife they'd driven into me and my parents. My face went cold. Whatever you guys want. I'm not having any. Lydia's expression shifted. She pressed her lips together, then put on a hurt, innocent look. You think street food is dirty, don't you? I was about to answer, but her 2 simps jumped in with jeers. Ooh, she's too fancy for street food. Lydia hasn't done a single thing wrong. Why do you have to pick on her? Apologize. Goddamn these losers. I scoffed. Did I say that? You put words in my mouth just so you can yell at me. Can you be any more pathetic? I just have a sensitive stomach and can't eat fried food. And you're coming at me with this garbage. Other students turned to look. Lydia quickly said, "I'm sorry, Scarlett. They didn't mean it. They just want the class to get along. That's all. If you don't want to eat it, that's fine. Get along." So I'm the one breaking class unity. With one line, she'd painted me as the troublemaker. My jaw tightened. I was about to speak when one of her simps sneered. "She's just a spoiled rich princess. Of course she looks down on us." Rage burned in my chest. I shot back. Oh right. My stomach doesn't matter. Getting sick doesn't matter. Tanking the SAT doesn't matter. You happy now? The guy bristled. Who says you're actually sick? Maybe you're just faking. I smirked. If I am, you gonna pay my medical bills? He flinched, then tried to save face by calling me a scammer. Nice try. I'm not falling for it. Then shut your mouth if you're not gonna pay, I said coolly. His face turned bright red. Lydia quickly stepped in to smooth things over. "Scarlett, Jason's just looking out for you. He doesn't want you to feel left out. Don't be so snappy with him." Looking out for me, I shot back. By mocking me non-stop. I'm the one being snappy. Maybe you should tell him to stop being so aggressive. Lydia froze for a second, then put on a sad face. "Scarlett, what's gotten into you? You never used to be like this." "I'll apologize on Jason's behalf, okay? Please don't be mad at him. Never used to be like this. I'd been too kind, too stupid before. I'd always put these brats first. Thought I'd make friends. All I'd gotten was cold stares and resentment. They'd hated me behind my back the whole time. My kindness hadn't earned me gratitude, it had earned me revenge. Last life I'd thought their teasing was just jokes. Now I heard every bit of malice in it. I was about to snap back when Jason glared at me, suddenly hostile. Lydia, don't apologize to people like her. Fury shot through me. Jason had been one of the people shoving me toward the rooftop edge last life. I was about to lay into him when the girl sitting next to me cut in, trying to de-escalate. Okay, everyone calm down. Eating or not eating should be a personal choice. I glanced at her, huffed, and went back to reviewing my notes. Jason tried to keep going, but Lydia shot him a look. Then she announced loudly, "So Scarlett's the only one not eating." "Right, that's settled. 5 meals over 2 days. Everyone give me $50 so I can pre-order with the cart guy." She drew out my name on purpose. My pen stilled for a second, but I ignored her. Whatever. After the SATs, I'd never have to see these losers again. No one objected. Everyone handed over their money. I was busy mentally going over past SAT questions when the girl sitting next to me leaned over. "What are you gonna eat, Scarlett? You can't just eat cafeteria slop, right?" I caught the shifty look in her eyes and said flatly, "The cafeteria's fine by me. It's only a couple days." "Really?" She looked skeptical, then added casually, like it was a joke, "Your family owns that fancy restaurant, right? Are your parents gonna drop off good food for you? Don't keep all the nice stuff to yourself, though." I shot her a cold look. "What's that supposed to mean? Am I selfish for eating my own family's food?" I said I'm eating at the cafeteria. "Don't put your own assumptions on me." She looked embarrassed. "I was just joking," then she huffed, annoyed. "Geez, Scarlett, why are you so snappy all of a sudden?" I scoffed. "I just finally see some people for who they are, and I'm sick of their mean little jokes. Not talking about you, so don't take it personally." I went back to my work, making my point clear. Her face fell. She muttered something about no one wanting to be friends with someone like that, then got up to pay Lydia for the chicken combos. I wanted to snap back that I didn't care about being friends with monsters, but I held my tongue. The SATs mattered more. Last life I'd scored 601, but after the exam, I'd gone over every question, worked through every mistake dozens of times until I knew every answer by heart. Okay, maybe not word for word, but close enough. I was confident I could boost my score by dozens of points this time. I didn't have time to mess around with these losers, but some things you can't outrun. After class, I stepped out to call my parents from the office, and when I came back, I heard the whispers. "Ooh, she's the fancy rich girl. She gets her own fancy restaurant meals. Why would she eat street food with us peasants? Some people are just born lucky. If my family had millions, I wouldn't hang out with us either." Wow. Money really makes people think they're better than everyone. One day we'll show all these rich snobs what's what. Shut up. She's coming back. Why should I? She's being selfish as hell. She's the one who should be embarrassed. The guy glowered at me like I'd committed some terrible crime. I'd just finished reviewing all the past exam questions. I wasn't scared of him. Did he think I'd back down? I pointed straight at him. "Jake, did I do something to you? Why are you running your mouth about me? If you've got nothing nice to say, shut it. Everyone can tell you've got garbage for brains." A few students snickered. Jake's face turned scarlet. He shot to his feet. "Scarlett Bennett, are you insane? You talking to me like that?" "Did I lie?" I said coolly. "You get to spread lies about me, but I don't get to defend myself. What are you gonna do? Run and snitch to Ms. Henderson?" Jake immediately deflated a little. Ms. Henderson never put up with his troublemaking, and he knew he was in the wrong here. Getting caught would mean big trouble, but he still tried to save face. "Tattletale, you just hide behind your good grades and act tough. I have zero respect for people like you." I laughed. "I don't need respect from a liar like you. Why don't you go snitch? Then, oh wait, you don't, 'cause you know you're wrong. All you've got is a big mouth. You." Jake stepped forward, but Jason grabbed his arm. Jason snorted at me. "We're all classmates here. Do you have to be so nasty? And Jake's not wrong. Are you really gonna ditch everyone just to eat better food by yourself?" Rage flared. "Ditch everyone my ass. What I eat is none of your goddamn business. You wanna stick your nose where it doesn't belong? Cut it off. Then, stop shoving it in people's faces." You dare curse at me? Jason snapped, stepping forward like he'd hit me. Lydia quickly stepped between us. Everyone calmed down. I'm sure Scarlett already secretly ordered those nice meals from her family's restaurant for everyone. As a surprise, right, Scarlett? She smiled sweetly at me, blinking like she was doing me a favor, giving me an out. The class perked up immediately. Hell yeah, fancy meals. I knew Scarlett wasn't that selfish. Her family's restaurant is top tier, right? Wonder how much it costs. Relax, Scarlett's so nice. She'll probably give them to us for free. Thanks in advance. Scarlett, Jesus Christ, how were they all so shameless? Then again, with my old doormat personality, I probably would have said yes. I probably would have been happy to help. Happy my ass. I'd been an idiot. I gave them zero leeway. Face cold. Surprise my ass. Whoever said that can order it themselves. Go ask her. I didn't plan anything. The class went quiet. Awkward. Lydia's face fell, then hardened. But it wasn't over. I turned on Jason. Did I curse wrong? You say nothing about Jake spreading lies. But you jump on me for defending myself. We're all classmates. But he gets to lie about me. Don't play dumb. You two-faced hypocrite. Scarlett, Jason yelled, so angry he looked ready to throw a punch. Lydia held him back, then turned to me with that long-suffering tone. Enough. Scarlett, they didn't mean it. You're misunderstanding them. They're just looking out for you. Look, if you treat everyone to a meal from your family's restaurant, we'll call it even. I'm sure they'll forgive you. Right, Jason and Jake huffed. If she's sincere about it, we might let it slide. The rest of the class said nothing, but their eyes lit up. Dumbass, I muttered, walking to my seat. They're in the wrong, but I have to beg for their forgiveness. Are you kidding me? Let him hit me. See if he still cares about the SATs after that. Real funny. I know exactly what they meant. I don't need you to explain it to me. Lydia's face went tight with anger. Jason was furious. But he didn't dare lay a hand on me. Like we even want your stupid meals. We're doing you a favor by eating your food. Jake joined in. You had your chance to look good and you blew it. You'll regret this. Lydia gritted her teeth. Guys, don't pressure Scarlett. It's fine if she doesn't want to help. We're just regular classmates. After all, she drew out the words regular classmates on purpose. The class looked disappointed. Their stares at me turned cold. It was disgusting. 1 second. I was the bad guy for being cold-hearted, but I didn't care. I smirked. If you're such good friends, why don't you pay for everyone? You wouldn't refuse, would you? Or are you just regular classmates too? I tossed the line out and sat back down. Going back to my exam review, Lydia's face twisted. She saw everyone looking at her expectantly and quickly put on a sad face. If I had money, I'd treat everyone, I promise. I'm sorry. She looked like she was about to cry. Jason immediately comforted her. Lydia, it's not your fault. Don't let her guilt trip you. She's got all that money and she's still so cheap. I snapped my head up and yelled, Jason, are you brain dead? My parents have money, not me. And even if I did, do I owe you anything? You let her guilt trip me, but I can't call her out. Stop acting like you're entitled to my family's money. I scoffed. Besides, treating everyone to a few meals costs nothing. It's not like none of you have $2,000 between you. Chip in. Problem solved. You just don't want to spend your own money. You want to be generous with someone else's cash. You can dish it out but you can't take it. Honestly, if I was you, and I had all these great classmates, I'd scrape together the money to treat them at least once. Why won't you? You're the selfish ones, if you ask me. Jason exploded. Scarlett, you son of a... Lydia cut him off. Her eyes were red as she looked at me. I'm sorry. Scarlett, this is all my fault. I'm bad with words and made everyone misunderstand. But they don't mean any harm. Can you just forgive? Of course it's your fault. I cut in sharply. Whether they mean harm or not isn't for you to say. But since you're apologizing, we're done here. Drop it. Lydia froze. Jason stood up, furious. Scarlett, don't push your luck. You don't actually think Lydia's... Oh, I drawled, voice dripping with sarcasm. So her apology was fake. She was just lying to my face. Jason's face flushed. That's not what I. Enough, Jason, Lydia cut in, forcing a calm tone. She put her hurt face back on. Scarlett, blame me all you want, but the other students didn't do anything wrong. Your family's restaurant does those SAT meal packages, right? Please. Help us order them, I'm begging you. My voice was flat. My family does have exam meal packages. $50, $200, $500 options. Anyone can order them. You don't need to ask me. Lydia's face lit up. But we're classmates. You know we don't have much money. Can you make it, Chia? No. I cut her off immediately. It's not my call. And even on sale, it's not gonna drop from $50 to $10 a meal. Besides, aren't we just regular classmates? You said that yourself. Forgot already. I gave her a contemptuous look. You're all such good friends. Covering the difference should be no problem, right? You wouldn't refuse, would you? The whole class turned to stare at Lydia and her two friends. Sweat beaded on her forehead. She gritted her teeth. If you could get it down to, like, $15 a meal, we could talk to my parents about it, I said, waving her off impatiently. If they want to lower the price, or even give it away for free, that's fine by me. I'm not getting involved. Lydia's eyes lit up. And you won't say anything to them beforehand. I just snorted, cold, and didn't answer, right away. Lydia pulled out her smartwatch and called my family's restaurant. Didn't even ask me first. My stomach dropped. This bitch had planned this all along. She wanted to ruin me. Why? What had I ever done to her? I couldn't figure it out. The call connected. It was my mom. Lydia quickly explained herself. Hi, Mrs. Bennett. We're Scarlett's classmates. We wanted to order those SAT meal packages from your restaurant. We were wondering. My mom was warm at first. Oh, of course. Orders over 50 portions get a discount. Lydia smiled. How much of a discount? We need 50 portions, 5 meals over 2 days, but we're on a tight budget. So. Oh, tight budget. My mom's tone cooled immediately. If you're short on money, I'd recommend a cheaper restaurant. Looks like we only have the $100 packages left right now. The $50 ones are sold out. Even with 5 off, that's $95 each. $5,000 deposit to order. $5,000. Lydia gaped. But Mrs. Bennett, I'm such a good friend of Scarlett's, can't you make it cheaper? Excuse me. My mom raised her voice. You want me to sell $100 meals for $10 or $20 a piece? Lose $80 or $90 on every single one. $4,000 lost per meal. $20,000 over 2 days. What am I? A charity. You're Scarlett's classmates. So I'll give you a $5 or $10 discount. Sure, but that's not what you're asking for. Don't go through life expecting handouts. No one's gonna coddle you out in the real world. She hung up. Lydia's face went rigid. She turned to me immediately, eyes welling up. Scarlett, did you tell her to? More lies. I snapped. What? Am I telepathic now? And why'd you drop my name in the first place? Hoping I'd cover the difference. Lydia stammered. We're classmates. Can't you just help us out? I thought we were friends. I don't owe you anything, I said with a cold smile. 2 minutes ago we were just regular classmates. Now we're good friends. Funny how we're best friends when you want something, and just strangers when you want to talk behind my back. Lydia's face fell. Jason yelled. Scarlett, what is your problem? I stared him down. It means exactly what it says. Are you deaf? He opened his mouth to yell more, but the bell rang. Lydia sighed. Forget it, Jason. If Scarlett doesn't want to give us a discount, that's fine. The crispy chicken cart is good enough. I let out a dry laugh. Some people need to stop acting like the world owes them free stuff. Have some self-respect. Lydia went pale. Then she buried her face in her arms and started sobbing. Jason and Jake immediately turned on me, yelling that I was the one with no respect. You bitch. Get on your knees and apologize to Lydia. I didn't care at all. I didn't say anything about her. Why is she crying? If anyone deserves to cry, it's me. Getting lied about and guilt-tripped. What's with the victim act? Trying to get sympathy. I glared at them. Kneel my ass. Keep running your mouths. We can go hash this out in front of the teacher. See what she says. Jason and Jake immediately backed down. though Jake still sneered. You just hide behind the teacher 'cause she likes you for your grades, better than hiding behind being a shameless little brat. I shot back. Scarlet, Jake yelled. No one cared. The study hall passed quickly. I went over all the exam topics again. When evening study hall ended, I was about to leave when 3 figures blocked my path. Scarlet, I'm sorry, I'll apologize. Okay, but the other students didn't do anything wrong. This is the most important time of their lives, their last chance at a good future. Please, just do this for them. They'll owe you forever, she said, looking at me with that fake, sincere face. Jason huffed. Lydia's being the bigger person here. You should be grateful. Jake nodded. Say thank you. Other students nearby stopped to watch. Hope in their eyes. I was sick of it. I stepped around them to leave, tossing one line over my shoulder. Get out of my way. You make me sick. Lydia froze. Venom flashed in her eyes. Jason and Jake exploded. Scarlet, you think you're hot shit, don't you? They stepped in front of me again. Apologized to Lydia. Now, I didn't flinch. Or what? You gonna hit me? Go ahead. Try it. See if you still get to take the SATs after that. Now move. They hesitated, but didn't step aside. You think we're scared of you? You're not going anywhere until you apologize. Watch me, I said coldly. Lay a finger on me and I'll hit the ground screaming. See what the teacher does to you and the little mastermind behind all this. I glanced at Lydia over my shoulder, then shouldered past Jason and Jake and walked away. They stared after me, seething. Lydia dropped the innocent act and snorted. The chicken cart is fine. Honestly, I just wanted to give her a chance to get along with everyone and help her family's business out. If she's gonna be ungrateful about it, forget it. Jason agreed. Right, like we even want her overpriced meals. Total ripoff. She's probably mad she can't scam us out of our money now. Jake chimed in. For real, she was playing hard to get to jack up the price. Now she's pissed it didn't work. Ha! That garbage restaurant deserves to go under. I stopped walking and laughed dryly. Ah, poor babies. Can't get free stuff so you start throwing insults. Real mature. I kept walking. Didn't look back. I went straight back to the dorms. If it wasn't so hard to get permission to leave campus, I'd never stay in the same building as these lunatics. I got back to my dorm and was about to wash up for bed when I saw my roommates going through my suitcase, digging through my stuff. They'd pulled out my unopened $50 facial cleanser and my sheet masks, and were about to tear the packaging open. What the hell do you think you're doing? I yelled. They jumped, then laughed when they saw it was me. Oh. Hey Scarlet, we were just gonna borrow your cleanser and masks. They said it like it was nothing, like they had every right. They reached for the packages again. I laughed. Bitter. You didn't even ask. And you made a total mess of my suitcase. You know this is theft, right? Give them back. I stepped forward to take my things back. They wouldn't hand them over, hiding them behind their backs and making excuses. Come on, we didn't mean it. It's not that messy. You can just tidy it up later. Lights are about to go out. We need to wash our faces and do our masks. Right. We're roommates. What's the big deal? No need to be so rude. We'll even be nice and not make you apologize. Don't be so stingy. They acted like I was overreacting and started walking toward the bathroom. I snapped. I snatched my things right out of their hands and snapped. Are you brain dead? Do you not understand words? You go through my stuff without asking. You don't even feel bad about it. And now you're trying to take it from me. Have you no shame? I knelt to repack my suitcase, disgusted. Going through people's things without asking. It's just rude. My roommates looked embarrassed, then angry. Scarlet, what's your problem? It's just skincare. Do you have to be so selfish about it? Right. Just say you don't want to share. No need to make a big scene. You owe us an apology. And you can give us the stuff to make up for it. Then we'll forgive you. I saw red. I yelled at the top of my lungs. Owe you an apology, my ass. You went through my stuff. You're the ones who owe me an apology. Are you idiots? I yelled so loud students from the next dorm gathered in the doorway to watch. My roommates flushed, panicking. It's not stealing. When you're roommates, it's just borrowing. Right. Are you trying to ruin our reputations? You're so cruel. Tell them you're lying. I scoffed. If you didn't ask, it's stealing. Nice try. You didn't care about ruining your reputations when you were stealing my stuff. Now you're embarrassed. I'm the bad guy for standing up for myself. You're the cruel ones. Apologize. Now. I kept yelling. The students in the doorway whispered, pointing at my roommates. I caught words like thief floating around. My roommates got more and more upset. One of them gave the others a look, then turned to me with a fake calm tone. Fine. We were a little out of line. We're sorry. But setting aside the facts for a second, you didn't have to yell and embarrass us like that. Is it so wrong of us to want an apology? I snorted. Setting aside the facts 'cause they make you look bad. Why do you think I yelled? Because you shameless brats were talking trash about me when you couldn't use my stuff. You know you'd be embarrassed if you got caught. Where was that attitude when you were stealing from me? They froze. The whispers from the doorway got louder. All three of them teared up. Scarlett, what's gotten into you? You used to let us borrow your stuff all the time. Tell them it's not like this, please. My face was cold. Tell them nothing. I was an idiot before. I let all of you leech off me, and not a single one of you ever said thank you. You just expected more. That's why I changed. Apologize. Their faces fell. They mumbled half-hearted apologies. So quiet you could barely hear them. I didn't care. I huffed. Next time, don't go through people's stuff. It's trashy. I knelt back down to finish packing my suitcase. Done with the conversation. Not 2 seconds later, I heard one of them mutter, so quiet it was almost a whisper. So selfish. I snapped. I shot to my feet, rounded on her, and yelled, Sophie Reed, what did you just say? For 3 years you've used my cleanser, my masks, my shampoo, my body wash. You've eaten all my snacks. You never paid a cent toward the dorm AC, and you're calling me selfish. Where do you get the nerve? Sophie went pale, then snapped back. Angry and humiliated. It's just a bunch of cheap stuff. Why do you keep score? You probably let us use it on purpose just so you could hold it over us. Make us do what you want. Stop playing the victim. You're just manipulative. I was furious. I laid into her. Sophie. Are you fucking kidding me? If it's so cheap, pay me back. Stop acting like you're entitled to it. Hold it over you. What have I ever made you do? You steal from me and then act like I wanted you to, just to make me look bad. Are you insane? I could slap you right now and say you wanted me to, just so my hand would hurt. Does that make sense? You lunatic. You. Sophie sputtered, trying to fight back, but the crowd in the doorway had had enough. Is Sophie for real? That's such a garbage take. Right. Thieves playing the victim now. Total shamelessness. Tell her, she deserves to get called out. Holy crap. I'm recording this for TikTok. This is insane. Sophie looked terrified. The other 2 roommates panicked too, yelling at the crowd. That's not what happened. Stop recording. It was no use. More phones came out. They turned to me, frantic. Scarlett, you did this on purpose, didn't you? You wanted to ruin us. I laughed dryly. Don't act like this is my fault. You did this to yourselves. You ruined your own reputations with your own actions. Don't blame me for your choices. They had nothing to say. Then they gritted their teeth. Sophie was just complaining. Did you have to make such a big deal out of it? I gave them a contemptuous look. To people as shameless as you, probably not. You've already got no reputation left. But I care about mine. I'm not gonna let some trash talk about me behind my back. Sophie was seething. The other 2 shook with rage. Scarlett. You want to end this roommate thing? You think you don't need us? You're crazy. Apologize right now, and we'll forget this ever happened. I smiled, mocking. Sorry, I don't keep friends with thieves. Losing you is like losing a used tissue. You think that's a loss? Please, I've been crazy this whole time. Their faces twisted with rage. They spat out a threat. You'll regret this. You'll come crawling back. Humph. I ignored them and went to wash up. The funny part, without my stuff. They didn't even have toothpaste. They had to go beg the next dorm over, and everyone made fun of them for being freeloaders. They were humiliated. I felt zero sympathy. I remembered last life, when I was falling off that rooftop. They'd hung back in the crowd, pretending to be shocked. But I'd seen the excitement on their faces. They'd been talking about splitting my things. I'd heard them. Finally, that stuck-up bitch is dead. acting like she's better than us 'cause she's rich. She got what she deserved. She just got lucky at birth. If I had her money, I'd be way better than her. Good riddance. Let's sell her stuff and buy something nice to celebrate. It made my blood boil. This life. I wasn't cutting them any slack. I finished washing up, and the lights went out soon after. Lying in bed, I could still hear them muttering about me. I yelled back, "Keep running your mouths and none of us are sleeping. And none of us are taking the SATs. They mumbled something about me overreacting. Then went quiet. I didn't care. I fell asleep quickly. The next day was the last day of classes before the SATs. Everyone studied nervously. Lydia had already placed the order with the chicken cart for the next day, at the end of evening study hall. Ms. Henderson came in to remind everyone to take it easy, not to stress, and to watch what they ate. The cafeteria is free these next 2 days. We brought in extra chefs. The food's actually good. No one in the class believed her. I didn't bother saying anything. Last life. I'd heard from other classes that the cafeteria really did step up its game. It wasn't as good as my family's $50 meals, but it was way better than that garbage chicken cart. When the last bell rang, everyone relaxed a little. The tension lifted. But only just. Even Jason and Jake didn't come bother me anymore. The whole class felt like the calm before a storm. Tense, jittery, on edge. Not me. I'd already lived through this once. I'd died once. Nothing scared me anymore. The night passed without incident. My roommates didn't dare bother me. One of them was up crying at midnight, walking over to my bed like she wanted comfort. I just rolled over and went back to sleep when I half woke up. I wasn't playing the nice guy anymore. The next morning, I ate at the cafeteria. They had eggs, milk, pancakes, oatmeal, bacon and egg scramble, all you could eat. And it tasted great. I was enjoying my meal when a familiar figure rushed past my table. I frowned, but didn't think much of it. I took my time eating, then headed back to class. Our classroom wasn't being used as a testing center, so we still had study hall there. No sooner had I sat down than I saw Lydia directing Jason and Jake to carry in 2 big boxes of crispy chicken combos. A terrible smell hit me square in the face. Thick and cloying and rancid. I frowned, pinched my nose, and hurried to my seat. God, it reeked. Like a whole row of street carts crammed together. Like sewer water. Someone's jealous. Huh? Jason mocked. Like he had no idea how bad it smelled. Like I wasn't 2 seconds from throwing up. I ignored them. I sat down and pulled out my notes. But Lydia walked right over to my desk. "Scarlett, what's that face for? Is there something wrong with the chicken?" I blinked. Annoyed. I didn't buy it. How would I know? I didn't say anything. She pressed on. "Then why'd you pinch your nose?" "My nose is stuffy. Got a problem," I shot back. Then added sarcastically, "What? Did you order bad chicken or something?" Panic flashed in her eyes. Then she teared up. "I did not. Scarlett, how could you say that?" Jason immediately jumped to her defense. "Scarlett, how dare you accuse Lydia of something like that? You looking for a fight?" Jake stared daggers at me too. The whole class turned to look. My roommates looked smug, waiting for me to get taken down a peg. I laughed, then snapped. "Are you all fucking kidding me? She comes over here asking me random bullshit and I can't ask a question back." It was a question, not an accusation. "Why is she crying?" "She got something to hide," Lydia stammered. "I don't." "Then shut up," I said coldly. "You wanna keep this up? Be my guest." Lydia was furious, but put on her fake concerned face. "I'm sorry, Scarlett. I didn't mean it. I just thought you might have noticed something. That's all. I'm just worried about everyone. If you see anything wrong, you have to tell M. Whoever bought it can deal with it. Leave me alone." I cut her off. "Cold," I smirked. "Every time you come over, nothing good happens." Lydia's face burned. She looked ready to snap. But she walked away and started passing out the chicken combos. "Ah, crispy chicken heaven. Tastes like home. Ugh, so crispy, so juicy. I love chicken combos. This chicken is god tier, straight from heaven." Listening to them gush, I almost threw up again. It just smelled like old, reused fryer oil to me. How was that good? I grabbed my books and headed for the hallway to get some fresh air. Jake and Jason immediately jeered. Ooh, she's drooling and doesn't want us to see. Bet she's crying. Mad she can't scam us out of our money now. The class laughed. I stopped for a second, but didn't bother answering. I was almost out the door when Lydia called after me. Scarlett, I have an extra one. Do you want? Are you deaf? I cut her off. Sharp. Leave me alone. Got it. Lydia's eyes welled up. She kept apologizing. I had the guy make this one Cajun spiced. I thought you'd like it. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. Jason was furious. Scarlett, that's enough. You're treating Lydia's kindness like garbage. You gonna ruin her test mood too. I laughed. Bitter. Did I ask for her kindness? I already ate. Why's she shoving food at me? Where's the kindness in pestering someone over and over? She deserves to get yelled at. Jason froze, then got angry. Telling Lydia not to waste the chicken on someone so ungrateful. She's a lost cause. But Lydia suddenly dropped to her knees, eyes red and wet. Scarlett, I'm sorry. I know you're still mad about yesterday, but I didn't mean it. I think about all the good times we had and I feel terrible. Can we be friends again, please? Jason stared, stunned. Then he yelled at me. Lydia's being so good to you. The least you can do is say thank you. Jake nodded frantically, telling me to help her up and be grateful. I just gave her a contemptuous glance, scoffed, and walked out. Lydia froze. Jason and Jake screamed insults at my back. Lydia forced a smile, but her eyes were full of resentment. She told everyone to dig in, then said she'd already eaten and gave the extra one to Jason. I watched from the window. Cold. That's when I knew for sure the person I'd seen at the cafeteria that morning was her. What a piece of work. She knew the food was bad and still fed it to them. Didn't she care if something happened? Whatever. They were all monsters. Let them eat their fill. Then a student pointed out that the chicken looked a little green. Lydia explained smoothly. That's from the vegetable marinade the guy uses. Super healthy and tasty. Another student said the chicken smelled off. Jason snapped at her. That's the natural chicken flavor. It's healthier this way. You don't know good food. Jake even threatened her. Told her to stop making trouble. The girl shut up. In the end, everyone scarfed down their meals. The student on duty gathered all the empty boxes and carried them downstairs to throw them away. Scared Ms. Henderson would find out. I didn't go back to class until morning study hall started at 6:30. The room still reeked of that greasy smell. When Ms. Henderson came in to go over last-minute reminders, she asked if someone had been eating junk food. You can't eat random stuff before the SATs. What if you get diarrhea? The class went quiet. A lot of students looked down, guilty. Some stared at me, scared I'd snitch. I said nothing the whole time. Ms. Henderson pressed for an answer, but Jason smiled awkwardly. We got it. Ms. Henderson, don't worry. She sighed, gave a few more reminders, and left. For a minute, everything seemed fine, but soon. But Jason and Jake blocked them. Maybe you should have eaten better all these years. This is on you. Right after he said it, Jason clutched his stomach and bolted for the bathroom too. Lydia put on her sad, innocent face and said it must have been something else they ate. Everyone else is fine, right? The 6 students sat back down, worried. I watched the whole thing, said nothing, and focused on going over my essay outline with the language arts teacher. Soon, it was time to head to the testing centers. I sat down at my desk calm and relaxed, staring at the familiar test paper. I felt a rush of excitement while everyone else was panicking. Of course, I didn't want to get caught, so I took my time, pretended to work through it carefully. I still finished half an hour early, and checked my answers twice. I was staring out the window, bored, when a familiar figure ran past the hallway in a panic, followed by a proctor. He was heading for the bathroom. It was Tyler, our football team captain, 6'5", built like a tank. Now he looked terrified, eyes shiny with unshed tears, face white, lip bitten raw like he was about to break down crying. That was his 3rd trip to the bathroom. I counted. I smirked to myself. All 5 of my classmates on this floor had made runs to the bathroom, at least twice each. One guy had gone 5 times. How many were on the other floors? A lot. I bet. That chicken had definitely been bad. But none of that was my problem. All I knew was, I'd aced the verbal section. When the exam ended, I didn't go get lunch or head back to class. I stopped by Ms. Henderson's office first. 15 minutes later, I was on my way to the cafeteria when I glanced into the classroom. A whole crowd of students poured out and surrounded me, screaming, "Scarlett, this is all your fault. Why didn't you stop us from eating that chicken? We've got diarrhea because of you." I didn't finish my essay. You ruined everything. You knew the chicken was bad and you didn't say anything. You bitch. I missed all the fill-in-the-blank questions. What are you gonna do about it? You ruined my future. You owe us an explanation. We'll fight you over this. They were hysterical, eyes red, on the edge of breaking down. Some even looked ready to hit me. I stared, stunned. How the hell was this my fault? I was about to argue when Lydia stepped out of the classroom, wiping tears from her eyes. "Scarlett, stop making excuses. You knew the chicken was bad. That's why you wouldn't eat it. The sensitive stomach thing, the breakfast thing, all lies. How could you be so cruel? You couldn't even warn us. Don't act like you didn't do this on purpose. Apologize right now, and cover all our costs if we have to retake senior year. Plus a few thousand in damages. And maybe we'll forgive you." Jason huffed. "Hurry up. It's not like you can't afford it. But if word gets out that you sabotaged your classmates." Jake chimed in. "We're all classmates here. You really want to see us throw our futures away? Help us out. And we'll all be friends again." The whole class stared me down. Looking at them, I laughed out loud, furious. "Are you all fucking brain dead? How do you even blame me for this? I knew. You knew the chicken was sketchy and you ate it anyway just to scam me. She knew the chicken was garbage and she bought it for you just to make me look bad." I shot Lydia a glare and kept yelling, "You buy this garbage without any proof and you all eat it up. Me not wanting your nasty chicken is some huge crime, but her buying you rancid food is perfectly fine. Are you kidding me? This has nothing to do with me." The crowd went quiet. They all whipped around to stare at Lydia. Her face went white, panicked. "No, Scarlett. How could you?" "Shut up," I snapped, disgusted. "Don't call me that. It makes me sick. You chose to order the chicken. I had nothing to do with it. How would I have known it was bad? And from what I saw, Lydia, you didn't eat any of it, did you? You're the one who bought it. If anyone knew it was bad, it's you, not me." I stared her down, cold, sweat beaded on her forehead. She stammered, "I did eat." "Scarlett, how can you say that?" "You shut up too," I yelled at Jason. Then laughed. "You ate more than anyone. You spent half the exam in the bathroom, didn't you? She treats you like a lapdog and you still defend her. Pathetic." Jason gritted his teeth. "It's different. Lydia said I'm a good guy. I know she likes me." "You can't talk about her like that." Looking at this delusional simp, I didn't bother arguing more. I turned to Lydia and smirked. "Oh, you ate, huh? I saw you buy breakfast at the cafeteria this morning." "Don't think I didn't." "You how did you?" Lydia panicked, then clapped a hand over her mouth. No, I didn't." Too late. The class had already put it together. They surrounded her, furious. "You bastard. It was you. You didn't even eat the stuff you made us buy. You're fucking evil, piece of shit. You ate good food at the cafeteria and made us eat garbage chicken. Give us answers or I'll kill you." "Me too. You ruined my shot at a 4-year school. How am I supposed to feel better than community college kids now? You ruined me. I'll fucking destroy you." Lydia went pale, panicking. Jason and Jake threw themselves in front of her to protect her. "Calm down. Community college isn't that bad. Community college is great for trade jobs. Besides, we'd all go together. It'd be fun, right? We can all go to community college and stick by Lydia. She's so sweet." "Sweet my ass," Tyler roared. He slapped Jason across the face, then kicked Jake hard enough to send him flying. "Fun my ass." Both of them yelped and hit the ground hard. Tyler reached for Lydia's throat. She looked terrified and dropped to her knees. "I'm sorry." I didn't know the chicken was bad. I didn't eat it 'cause I was on my period. I didn't want you guys to think I was being a buzzkill. So I went to the cafeteria instead. I'm a victim too. She sobbed into her hands, putting on her best hurt act. You really didn't know. Tyler glowered at her, ready to snap at any second. Jason and Jake scrambled to their feet, limping, and got back in front of her. Lydia would never lie. She couldn't hurt a fly. Right, the cart guy's the bad guy. Stop picking on a girl. Go beat up the guy who sold the chicken, the class murmured, starting to waver. Lydia pressed her advantage. Why would I do this? I'm your class president. Just as the crowd started to buy it, I scoffed. Some victim. First thing she did was try to pin it all on me. Real great. The crowd turned suspicious again. Lydia panicked. Jason yelled, Scarlett. Lydia was just asking questions. Stop trying to make her look bad. Jake joined in. Right. You just keep pushing and pushing. You're so cruel. I smiled. Not my problem. Forgive her if you want. It's not my future you're throwing away. The class snapped out of it. Anger and tears mixed in their eyes. Tyler pointed straight at Lydia and yelled, This is your fault. You're the one who suggested the chicken. You make this right, or I'll beat the shit out of you. Yeah, just like you said earlier, pay us thousands. Cover all our retake costs, and maybe we'll forgive you. Someone yelled it out, and the whole crowd went quiet, staring at Lydia with greed in their eyes. Lydia went deathly pale. What's going on here? Why is everyone gathered? Ms. Henderson's voice cut through the crowd. She walked over, and when she heard what had happened, she almost fainted from anger. How could you all be so stupid? You actually ate street cart food. You had to have that one snack. You're risking the SATs over this. You couldn't wait 2 more days. Jason mumbled. It's called being young and having fun. Young, and I swear I'll smack you. Ms. Henderson snapped, then sighed. What's done is done. Focus on the rest of your exams. I'll go talk to that cart owner. Just when I thought it was over, Lydia burst into tears. Ms. Henderson, we were gonna order meals from Scarlett's family's restaurant first. If we'd just done that, none of this would have happened. It's all my fault. If I'd just talked to Scarlett nicer. If I hadn't made her mad. This never would have happened. I'm so terrible. She collapsed on the ground, sobbing. Jason immediately comforted her. It's not your fault, Lydia. Someone's just too selfish to care about her classmates. Jake nodded. Right. If someone had just been a little nicer, this wouldn't have happened. The crowd went silent. No one argued. Some even looked at me with resentment. My face hardened. She really would find any way to pin this on me. Nice try. Humph. Ms. Henderson snorted. What? You wanted her to sell you $100 meals for $10 each, and when she says no, she's the selfish one. Since when did we all become so entitled? And because she wouldn't sell you cheap meals, you decided to eat garbage. You got sick from your own bad choices. And you're gonna blame someone who had nothing to do with it. How would you feel if someone did that to you? You're all adults now. You take responsibility for your own choices. You don't pass the buck. What kind of people does that make you? Lydia went as white as a sheet. The students looked a little guilty. Ms. Henderson was about to relax when Jason mumbled. She's rich, though. What's the big deal? We're classmates. Did she pay you to side with her? Jake added sarcastically. Guess if your grades are bad. No one cares. Ms. Henderson's face darkened. She looked out at the class and saw not a single person disagreeing. Some even looked like they agreed. She was done. She huffed. So Scarlett's the bad guy. She has to help you. Let me remind you, Scarlett's been helping all of you for 3 years. When you couldn't afford dorm utilities, she covered them. She bought all of you winter coats. When you were hot, she bought you ice cream, popsicles, watermelon, and instead of being grateful, you just expect more and more. I've never met such ungrateful brats. Don't call me your teacher. I didn't raise people like you. Did it help? No. A handful looked guilty, but most just looked cold. I even heard someone mutter, she just does it to look good. Shut up. Ms. Henderson yelled at Jason. Then she said, cold. I already called the police. We'll let them sort out who's right and who's wrong. That's it. You've all disappointed me. Don't call me Ms. Henderson anymore. I don't deserve it. She started to pull me away. The whole class panicked. Lydia practically shrieked, "No. You can't call the police, Ms." Henderson turned and stared her down. "Why not?" Lydia's forehead beaded with sweat. She stammered, "The cart guy has it hard. He's got a grandma to take care of and a little kid. Shouldn't we be forgiving?" I laughed dryly. "You hear that, everyone? The cart guy has it hard, so we should all just let it go. For Lydia's sake. It's just the SATs. Who cares, right?" The crowd exploded, yelling at Lydia, "Let it go my ass. That's an excuse to sell rotten food. He's poor so he can break the law. Are you stupid? Right. I'm supposed to feel bad for the guy who ruined my future. Who feels bad for me? Fuck that. You're defending him. Are you working with him or something?" They surged forward. "No, that's not what I meant." Lydia panicked, trying to explain. But no one believed her. They thought she was in on it, and they demanded she pay up. If Ms. Henderson hadn't stepped in, Lydia would have been torn apart. In those few seconds, her face was scratched red. And there were footprints all over her clothes. Jason and Jake got it worse, beaten black and blue, howling the whole time. Soon the police arrived, and they brought the cart owner with them. He confessed right away. "Yeah. I used chicken that didn't sell a few days ago." Before the class could yell, he kept going. "But that girl only paid me $5 a meal. What was I supposed to do? Lose money on every order?" "What?" the crowd gasped. Tyler roared, "Bullshit. We paid 10 each." The owner stood his ground. "I only got $5 a plate, $1,200 total, and she haggled me down $50 on top of that. What do you want from me?" "That can't be right," Tyler said, disbelieving. "We pooled $2,500. The guy laughed. "Isn't it obvious?" The girl pocketed the rest. He pointed straight at Lydia, who was hiding at the back of the crowd, her face drained of color. Everyone turned to stare at her. Lydia panicked, then burst into tears. "I didn't. Where's your proof? Why are you lying about me? You just think it's easy to pick on a girl. I gave you over $2,000. The crowd glanced back and forth between them. Lydia wiped her eyes. "We've been classmates for 3 years. I'd never do that. He's just a bad guy selling rotten food and trying to blame me. Don't fall for it. I'd never lie to you guys." When they still hesitated, she made the most unhinged call of her life and wailed, "He tried to assault me. I said no, so he's trying to ruin my reputation. Don't believe him." "Wow." The crowd gasped. Their suspicion turned to sympathy. They all glared angrily at the cart owner. The owner's face turned purple with rage. "You little bitch. You dare frame me." Then he smirked. "Good thing I got security cameras, or you'd have gotten away with it." He pulled out his phone and played the footage. It clearly showed Lydia handing over $1,200 in cash. The owner counted it right there, and he never touched her the whole time. The truth was out. Everyone looked at Lydia. Cold, disgusted, angry, disappointed, everything but sympathy. Lydia was spiraling. She tried to say the video was edited, but the police confirmed it was real right away. She broke down screaming, "You bastard! Where did you get that camera? You were filming me without permission. You creep. I'm calling the police on you." The owner laughed. "Ha, everyone's got cameras these days. Mine's just tiny. That's all. You little bitch. Tried to frame me. You're not even close." "No, it's not true." Lydia collapsed on the ground, repeating over and over that she didn't do it. It was no use. The whole class stared down at her like she was a criminal. Then the police stepped forward to take her in for questioning. Lydia looked like she'd been struck by lightning. She suddenly snapped out of it and tried to delay, saying she had exams. "Can it wait a couple days? This is serious." The officer snapped. "Your greed ruined all these students' exams. You could be looking at jail time." "Exams? Forget about it." They started to lead her away. Lydia completely broke. She twisted around and screamed at me, "Bitch, you could have sold us your family's meals. Why wouldn't you help? You selfish brat. I'll never forgive you. And you won't get Blake Fisher. When I get out, I'm gonna take him from you fair and square." I blinked. "What? Who?" I stared, confused, as they led her away. Jason and Jake, who'd begged so hard to take the fall. They got exactly what they asked for, 6 months each as accomplices. Not long after, my parents came to pick me up. I stayed home for the rest of the exam period. so I wouldn't get dragged into all the drama and mess up my own tests. When the final bell rang on the last day of exams, I breathed a sigh of relief. Ivy League was in the bag. Still, I couldn't stop wondering, who was Blake Fisher? Was he the reason Lydia hated me so much? I didn't have to wonder long. I'd just stepped out of the testing center when I walked straight into a tall guy's chest. Hard abs bounced me right back. A clean, warm scent wrapped around me, and my cheeks heated up. Whoa, sorry. I stepped back quickly, head down. Apologizing. It's fine. It's my fault I was in your way, he said. His voice was deep and nice, I thought. I looked up to smile and leave, and I froze. Holy crap. This guy was gorgeous, tall. To at least 6'2". He looked a little shy. I actually came looking for you. Can I get to know you? My name's Blake Fisher. I nodded on instinct. Sure. Wait, what did you say your name was? Blake Fisher. It clicked. Blake Fisher. The guy Lydia said I'd stolen from her. I looked him over. Blake's face went bright red. He nodded fast. Yeah, I wrote you a love letter once. 2. I never got it. Classic. Lydia must have swiped it. I asked Blake if he knew Lydia Carter. When he said no, I added him on my phone. And for the record, I didn't add him just 'cause he was hot. Have you seen his shoulders? He looked all polite and preppy, but that build. Definitely an athlete. And if he was the guy Lydia couldn't have, why wouldn't I? We talked after that. Turns out Blake had transferred a few months back. He was a top STEM student, #1 at his old school. Total Ivy League material. The real deal. Not like me who just had a second chance. His family ran a tech company worth billions. Old money, basically. He told me he'd noticed me the day he transferred. He'd been too nervous to talk to me. Scared he'd distract me from studying. He'd finally worked up the courage to send the letter a few weeks back. Then he asked, really sincere, if he could have a chance to take me out. I didn't say yes right away. Said I wanted to get to know him first. I mean, what if he was faking the whole athlete thing? That'd be a bummer. A little while later, we went on a spring break trip to Miami. Blake insisted on coming with me. 2 nights in, late at night, I found out he hadn't been lying. If anything, he'd been humble. The guy was incredible, and I liked it. Goes to show what a STEM whiz can do. Length, width, acceleration, understood all of it. Knew exactly what he was doing. Real thorough. Good thing the liberal arts side had a few tricks of its own to keep him on his toes. A couple weeks later, the SAT scores came out. Just like I'd thought, first in the city for liberal arts. Top 10 in the state. He was first in the city for STEM. Top 10 in the state too. We both went to Yale. Honestly, by that point I could barely walk without him holding me up. What would I do without him, while I was off living my best life? Lydia's sentence finally came down. Even after paying a huge settlement and getting the victims to go easy on her, she still got 1 year in juvenile detention. The cart owner got 3 years. As for the rest of my classmates, they'd bombed the verbal section. And the rest of their exams fell apart too. Everyone's scores dropped by 100 or 2 points. Some ended up at community college. Some went straight to blue-collar factory jobs. And the rest had to suffer through repeating senior year. Every time I thought about it, I'd get mad at myself. I'd been too nice. I should have sent a whole funeral procession to send M straight to the afterlife. Oh well, I'd pout about it that night, and let Blake guess what was wrong.